Hello, First Christian Church. As you know, this Sunday, June 21st, is our first of our phased reopening services in the sanctuary. This service will have a very different feel to it, which by now is no surprise to anyone. COVID-19 has done quite a number on our everyday routines and schedules, and sadly, churches are not exempt from this. The Worship and Spiritual Life team and key leaders from the Coordinating Council met a couple of weeks ago to talk about some necessary changes to the Sunday morning schedule and the order of worship. There will be no Sunday school classes and, sadly, no fellowship time with coffee and donuts for the foreseeable future. We will have one service at 10:30 a.m., so feel free to come 10 to 15 minutes early for a greeter to help you find a seat. Here are some things for you to know when arriving on Sunday morning.
So when you walk up to the main entrance on Sunday morning, a greeter will be there to activate the automatic doors. Then the next set of double doors behind me will be propped open for easy, hands-free access into the foyer.
We want to thank you in advance for honoring our request that everyone wears a mask while inside the building on Sunday morning. We know that this can be a nuisance, but this is the most effective way for us to mitigate the spread of COVID-19. If you don't have a mask, we will have some available for you to use, and you can take it with you when the service is over. If you need a mask, just ask one of our greeters when you enter the building, and they will be happy to help you out. Thank you for your cooperations, and thank you for your patience.
When you come into the narthex, you will find two sanitizer dispensers in the narthex, one behind me by this table and one by the main entrance of the sanctuary. And a friendly face behind a mask will be there to gladly dispense sanitizer as you enter and as you leave the building on Sunday morning. For the time being, the order of worship will only be made available in digital form. The bulletin will be emailed to the congregation later this week, and you will also be able to find it on our website at fccmanhattan.org. Just click on the worship tab and then on streaming services. Now, everything that you'll need to know for the worship service will be projected on the screen in the sanctuary. But you are welcome to print the bulletin at home or simply write down the order of service on a scratch piece of paper and bring it with you on Sunday morning. Whatever is going to be easiest for you to keep track and to know what's happening in the service on Sunday. As you enter into the sanctuary, we will have greeters ready to help you find a place to sit. The sanctuary seating has been arranged, as you can see, to provide ample space to spread out and keep a 6-foot distance from others. Please wait on one of the greeters to help you find a seat, and if people are kind of stacking up in the narthex, just kind of keep your distance and wait until one of the greeters is able to help you find a seat in the sanctuary.
The kids' activity bags will be available in lieu of the children's activity table at the back of the sanctuary. We will offer single-use activity bags for any kids who come. Just ask one of the greeters to get a bag for you, and they would be happy to do so. As we try our best to limit the amount of shared touch items, please refrain from using the hymnals and the Bibles in the chair racks. You will find the necessary lyrics and liturgies and the scripture on the screen. If you have trouble seeing, please let a greeter know that you need to be seated closer to the front for the best viewing of the screen during the worship service. The most disrupting change in this temporary order of worship happens at the communion time. It doesn't make sense for us to require worshipers to wear masks in the building, only to take them off during communion. Now, as a Christian church, disciples of Christ, weekly observance of the Lord's Supper is in our DNA. I know there are mixed emotions and feelings about this, But I hope that our decision to forego taking communion for this period of time tells you how serious we are about providing a worship space that is safe for everyone. Now, I stress that this is just temporary. We will still have an invitation to the table, followed by a song of reflection. And as you exit the building, one of our greeters will be there to hand out pre-sealed communion kits to those who want to take it home. The tall grass prairie and the flowers all around the church might provide an inspirational place for you to observe the Lord's Supper before going home. But I will leave it up to you on how you choose to observe the Lord's Supper. You have probably already guessed this, but we will not pass the offering trays during the worship time. You will find an offering plate located by the main sanctuary entrance where you can place your tithes and offerings as you are arriving or leaving, whatever is easier for you. The flexibility that you have shown over the last few months is inspiring. Many people have chosen to use their bank's bill pay function to send their gifts. Others have mailed their checks directly to the church. And yet others have found that the Easy Tithe app really is easy and user-friendly and convenient. You can also access the Easy Tithe on fccmanhattan.org by clicking on Worship and then Mobile Giving. You see, the legitimacy of our gifts comes from the heart from which we give and not the form and function in which we give. At the close of our worship service, after the benediction, we will ask that you remain seated as our ushers release one section at a time so that we can avoid large group gatherings in the narthex. And as you wait to be released by an usher, you may enjoy the musical Postlude by our praise team. It won't take very long, but thank you very much for your patience in this matter. I'll be honest, this phased reopening is not what I imagined when we first canceled in-person worship services in March. At that time, we knew very little about COVID-19, and I thought for sure that we would be back in the building to celebrate a joyous Easter Sunday. And by the time Easter rolled around, it was clear that our future reopening of the sanctuary would not be a doors wide open and pack 'em in kind of service. I know that there are a number of people who are not ready to join us in the sanctuary right away. And I want you to know that FCC and our leaders, we affirm your decision to do what is best for you and your family's health for however long it takes. While FCC will do everything that we can to mitigate the spread of this virus, we cannot 100% guarantee your safety. And so we trust that everyone will make the right decision for themselves, which will be the right decision for everyone else. We continued to live stream our service on Facebook and YouTube. And if you have a spiritual or physical matters that need attention, please let us know. These are difficult times. We were not made for long periods of isolation. So please don't hesitate to reach out if you are carrying a burden that is too great, if you need someone to pray with you, if you just need a friend to say hello. I don't know what the future holds. I'm trying to be optimistic as we set our sights on the fall, but our phased reopening will either progress or regress, depending on the local conditions here in Manhattan as reported by the Riley County Health Department. As always, my friends, if you have questions or concerns, please reach out to me. And my prayer is that we all would continue to shine the light and the love of Jesus. God be with you all. Grace and peace to you.